Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. I'm an OCD recovery coach with more than 10 years of experience helping people recover from OCD. Prior to that, I had severe OCD myself that I fully recovered from, and as do my clients. So if you wonder, can you fully recover from OCD? Absolutely, yes, you can. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a very interesting topic, and there is a lot of nuance in this. So, I do want you to listen so you don't fall into this trap. If you start to ask yourself a question, when will my OCD thoughts go away? I'm doing recovery work. Why are the thoughts still here? And that's a natural question anybody would ask. You have to understand a few things. First of all, you've conditioned your brain to take these thoughts seriously for quite some time. So just when you start to do recovery work, it doesn't mean that as soon as you started to do it, you will instantly start to feel better. It's gonna take some time. You have to make your peace with it. I know nobody wants to hear that it's gonna take a little bit of time, but truly it will. So prepare yourself for it being a few months of focused recovery work. So if you say, well, but I've already been suffering for this long. Yes, you've been suffering for this long, but when did you actually start taking recovery work seriously? When did you start to track? When did you start to really zero in on the recovery? The time starts then, not from when you started to develop OCD. In terms of the length of time, generally speaking, it I don't see it being about the person's age. In terms of if a person is, I actually find that people who are older recover faster because they have, I've gone into this in other videos, but they have life experience and they're able to tolerate more exposure work and are better at, not always, but a lot of the times are better at tracking and keeping on schedule, keeping accountable, which is sometimes very difficult for children. Of course, for especially young children, it is very difficult. So it really is, OCD works like math. It really is what you put into it. And when you're starting to do recovery work, when you're dealing with OCD, I know from my own experience of every one of my clients, you don't have a lot of energy in the course of a day because OCD takes away all your energy. So I don't want you to also start ruminating about how do I feel? Do I feel better? Do I feel worse? Because that can create its own OCD theme. And I frequently see it creating its own OCD theme to the point where people are not worrying about the original theme as much as they're worrying about the recovery process. That can happen because OCD grabs onto everything that's important to you. So if recovery is important to you, it will grab onto recovery. You can't let that happen. Focus all your effort on your actions. What did I do today for my OCD recovery? Did I refuse more than yesterday? Did I even a little bit more, right? And how would you know? You have to track the time. How much time did you spend ruminating? How many compulsions did you do? How many avoidances did you do if you're avoiding a lot, right? If you have that data and you've done better than yesterday, or at least you maintained, because some days are maintaining, or if something new came up and you happen to fall down, you kind of fell down but recovered better than when you fell down last time, then you've done what you could. And you should feel proud of yourself and don't look back and, well, but how do I feel? But I don't feel recovered, so that means I'm never going to, don't go down that road. You will recover. But don't do this looking back thing. I kind of call this type of OCD theme if it develops so far that it goes into a theme, the are we there yet theme. If you're going somewhere and you're almost there, but then you get so tired of the drive that you're like, oh, when are we going to get there? And that last little bit takes so long because you keep looking back. Don't do it with OCD recovery because you can actually get yourself stuck in this loop because if you're worrying about an OCD theme, that's somewhat separate from you. Like, for example, if you're worried about driving OCD or cleaning OCD. But if you're worried about your own brain, I'm worrying about how much I'm worrying, and because of that, I'm worrying. You're creating a massive loop here. And when you create that loop, it's hard to come out of it. So just like you're tracking, I hope you are, after my 700 videos, I think you understand that it's important to do that. I can't believe I have 700 videos. It's insane. But you have to understand that OCD will grab onto anything. So if you are reacting to recovery, you will start to obsess about recovery. This will become a thing. So focus on your actions. What are you doing in terms of your actions? Did you do the best you can? Good. That's it. And do this day after day after day. If you do this, you will recover. If you keep looking back, the drive to recovery will seem much, much longer. And don't expect results right away. Also, sometimes when people, another part of this too, and I brought this up in other videos as well, that if a person has a bad day, they're like, well, I feel like I'm at square one. You're not at square one. You just had a little step back. Now, if you let that step back last for days and days and become a setback, now you're entering a bigger problem, right? So again, it's the recovery from the step back as well. How long did it take you to get back on track to where you were? Right? So all of that counts. Whether you're tracking right now your recovery or not, that's up to you. But I bet you your brain is. Your brain is tracking everything you're doing. Are you reacting now? Did you react the last moment? Did you react the moment before that? You know, the good and the bad. And based on your reactions, it's making a decision whether this is real or not. Not real in a real way, but whether it should send you the feelings as if this is real or not. And then it sends you the feelings of anxiety. So you need to show it that this is not real. How do you show that this is not real? Through action, by disregarding, by not developing these thoughts, by not doing the compulsions, to the best of your ability, step by step. I'm telling you, the more I work with clients, and then I've been doing this for over 10 years now, with every day, I see more and more that accountability is what's missing with so many therapy programs, because accountability is number one. And frankly speaking, a lot of therapists are way too nice and way too, they basically, I mean, you shouldn't push too much on people. I get that. But people with OCD, a lot of the times, if you don't push on a person to do compulsion or to do exposure work, rather, if you don't push on them to refuse rumination, they might not. They might not refuse where they could have possibly refused, right? So that accountability, I see this as number one thing. You have to be accountable. You have to be your own coach, your own leader in this recovery. If you have no one else, then be your own leader. Lead yourself out of this. And it's just little tiny steps. Don't worry about the setbacks. Just keep going. It's like that movie, Just Keep Swimming, right? That's all you need to do every single day. No days off. Just keep doing it. I hope you find my videos helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with another video. I'll talk to you then.